So if I'm congested and I sound like I have the flu, it's because I have the flu and I'm very congested, so bear with me. Hi everyone, Deanna King here, and this channel is all talk narcissism and codependency. Today we're diving into one of the most exhausting, confusing, and mind-bending tactics narcissists use: circular conversations. The dreaded circular conversations. You try to walk away, they pull you back in using guilt tactics. You don't want to go through another match, but you want to resolve the 3-day silent treatment punishment that they just put you through because your energy just can't take any more of those angry days from them. So you want it to stop. So here you go. Coffee in hand, tail between your legs, and possibly a phone in your sleeve that's ready to go on record because you know what you're about to be put through in order to end their anger. So you sit, take a breath, and press record. And the conversation usually starts with having to open up the conversation because they have nothing to say. They're the ones who insisted on the talk, but they have nothing to say. Sound familiar? Drop a yes in the comments below. So the ball is in your court. Well, as soon as you open your mouth to blurt out what the issue is, they've already jumped in to cut you off, and suddenly they're not lacking of things to say. And it's all in the accusatory tone. Of course, you never got to talk about the issue at hand because the issue is usually something that they did. They're usually the ones who start the drama because they wanted some form of supply. You get punished for not accepting the behavior, and then they continue refusing accountability. It's how the dance goes. So now they want to end this punishment without being accountable. And it isn't you that they miss here. They miss the servant. So now they talk, and you give them all the space because you have no choice, right? But as soon as it's your turn and you'd like to take that turn now because they took away your first try, you're interrupted and attacked again. It's crazy making. You go back to the topic that you were trying to resolve, but the next thing you know, you're defending yourself or arguing from the "I never said that," which was the whole point of the issue to be resolved in the first place, or "that never happened." And the next thing you know, the tables are turned and you're being accused of all kinds of things from a whole new subject that they want to discuss. And every conversation is like that. Nothing ever gets resolved. These so-called discussions feel like you're running in circles, going nowhere, leaving you drained, questioning your reality, and wondering if you even said anything at all in this conversation. And let me warn you, if you've experienced this, you already know how damaging that it can be. It's more than frustrating. It's emotionally and mentally exhausting. And it is designed that way. First, they're enjoying this because it gives them supply. Secondly, it's all about avoidance of accountability. And thirdly, it's about control. I am tired of giving you the silent treatment because I'd like some dinner now. So I'm going to get you to start talking. I'll re-traumatize you. I'll confuse you, and I'm going to wear you down so bad that you'll give in through exhaustion without ever my having to deal with what I did. And if you're one of those feisty ones that holds their ground, I'll just end the conversation with something like, perhaps we should seek a counselor. And you say, sure, out of exhaustion, and they get their servant back. And then there's zero intention of counseling. What is circular conversation exactly? A circular conversation, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. You start talking about one thing, trying to express your feelings, share your thoughts, or resolve an issue, and somehow, no matter what you say, you end up right back where you started. Except now you're doubting yourself, exhausted, or even apologizing for something that wasn't even your fault. For example, you might say, I feel hurt when you cancel plans at the last minute. And they respond with, you're overreacting again. You're always so dramatic. Why are you making this such a big thing? I can't deal with you being like this. Or if you say, I get that you have bad days sometimes, but it's not okay to use name calling. And the response might be something like, Why don't you take a look at the things you do when you're angry? You're always this angry person, which of course you are now because they're constantly doing things to upset you. And then they go on with, you need help, and no wonder your family says those things about you. You've always been jealous of your sister, and you're going, wait, what? I'm not jealous, and now you're off topic, the very topic that you wanted to address, and defending your position. You try to clarify, trying to calmly explain your feelings again. I'm not trying to make this a huge ordeal. I just wanted to let you know how this affects me, and I'm asking you in the future to please not call me names. Now it's, oh, so now you're trying to control me. And suddenly you're being accused of attacking them, questioning their intentions, or even being selfish. And before you know it, you're back to being accused of all kinds of things, and you're this horrible, abusive person that needs to go to anger management because you're so passive aggressive, and it's your fault that they resort to calling you names. Ay, ay, ay. Just never ending. And this is a conversation that will last not half an hour here. We're talking hours, as in the whole afternoon. The purpose isn't understanding or discussion here, it's control. They're creating a cycle that, number one, drains you emotionally. You leave the conversation feeling worn out, confused, and self-doubting. Number two, it confuses reality. You start to question your perceptions because every time you speak the conversation, it flips back on you. And number three, it maintains dominance. You're trapped in their narrative, reinforcing that your needs, your thoughts, and your feelings don't matter. And if you think this isn't re-traumatizing you, think again. It is psychological warfare. A narcissist doesn't want resolution. They want control and power, and circular conversations are the perfect tool. They keep you chasing clarity that never comes. And I mentioned a while ago that it's often from a 3-day silent treatment that you want to get out of, but sometimes it isn't. So here's a real life example. Let's say that you've had a stressful day at work. You get home and you try to explain why you're feeling overwhelmed. I had a really rough day. I just need to vent for a few minutes. But instead of listening, the narcissist flips it. Wow, you're so negative. Why are you always bringing me down? See, back to them, right? It's always about them. You think your problems are worse than mine? You're being dramatic again. So you try to redirect. No, I just wanted to share. I'm not trying to make this about me or upset you. And then they twist it again. See, you're always twisting things. Why can't you just be supportive like I am? You never think about me. You're so selfish. And by the end, you're apologizing for existing, questioning if you actually said anything wrong, and wondering why you ever started talking in the first place. Or you do know that you did nothing wrong and that they were the ones that were the belligerents, but you're stuck in freeze response because if you continue this charade, it's only going to get worse. So you never got to express your feelings. You become a non-person, someone with no right to speak and no right to feel. No right to feel what you feel. And circular conversations don't always come with yelling or obvious attacks. Sometimes they're subtle because narcissists are filled with hatred. Sometimes they're looking to provoke you just because no one paid attention to them at work, or someone else got a raise but they didn't. So now they want to provoke something, right? Maybe they're angry because you didn't acknowledge them when they walked through the door because you were busy with the baby or something. They want supply, aka attention. So they're going to use subtle tactics like the question trap. They ask you questions like, why are you so upset? When clearly you weren't. And you'll tell them as much, but they aren't stupid. They see it in the way that you crossed your arms or bit your lip, and they keep going, right? No matter how many times you tell them you're not upset. Now you insist that you weren't angry, but now with a bit of a raised voice because you're getting frustrated with this accusation here. And you're abusive. And see, I told you I knew you were upset. You'll never get anywhere. And in just a bit, I'll talk to you about what you can do when they're looking to create circular conversations. And the evil in this is that some will start to doubt their own memory and reality. It's terrible what they're doing. The next tactic is the blame game. Even when the conversation starts with a neutral topic, they twist it to blame you for their emotions or actions. You also have the moral superiority trap. They imply that you're wrong or morally inferior for your feelings, making you defend yourself endlessly. And lastly, I can't believe you said that trap. They repeat things that you said, twisting the context, exaggerating, or leaving out parts to make you look bad. And no matter how careful you are, the loop continues. It's cognitive dissonance in action. The narcissist wants you to experience cognitive dissonance, that mental and emotional confusion where your mind and body tell you one thing, but the narcissist's manipulation tell you another. You leave conversations feeling exhausted, even though logically you weren't wrong. You still apologize for things that weren't your fault. And even for those who don't, by day 2 of the silent treatment, you still find yourself writing emails trying to settle things because you're thinking that they totally misunderstood you somehow. So if you can just express it in a different way. Newsflash here, they did not misunderstand anything. But here you are, you go over and over what they said, what you said, you question your memory, you feel guilt, shame, and confusion all at the same time. This is intentional. The circular conversation isn't about solving the problem. It's about destabilizing you, wearing you down, and keeping you under their control. It is a game to them, a chess game, a power game. An argument or an issue raised is always seen as a game on thing. It's an automatic, you think you're going to win this one, do you? That's how they think. There is nowhere in their minds that they're interested in feelings and making relationships better. Better for them means obey. That's all they want. Have you not noticed that after every argument, it is you that needs to change? You are responsible for taking care of all of it while they poke and provoke. A client once shared her story with me. She emailed her partner about paying a bill, trying to communicate clearly. He replied in a way that twisted her words, accusing her of being irresponsible. So she clarified in another email, calmly stating the facts. And he replied again, this time accusing her of lying and manipulating him emotionally. By the end of the week, she was apologizing for something that hadn't even happened yet. All while he claimed that she started it and needed to fix it. This is what circular conversations look like in real life. Endless loops designed to make you feel powerless. And they'll use the smallest of details to start one of the stupidest things. There's no win in a circular conversation. The narcissist doesn't want you to feel validated or heard. They want you confused, frustrated, vulnerable, and out of control, because if you're out of control emotionally, you are the crazy one. You are the one with an issue that needs to be resolved, not them. Your logic, your calm tone, your explanations, none of it matters. The cycle is designed to keep you spinning, questioning yourself and reinforcing their dominance. But that doesn't mean that you can't get the upper hand. And here's how. Number 1, the gray rock method. Minimal emotional engagement, neutral, short responses, no fuel for their loops. So here's an example. Let's take the earlier scenario. Why are you so upset when you weren't? And then you'll tell them as much, but they aren't stupid. They see it in the way that you crossed your arms or bit your lip, right? They're baiting at this point. So this is you, for example. I didn't realize I was. Thanks for pointing that out. I guess I'm tired. And no sarcasm in your tone, just boring, nonchalant, matter-of-factly. They can't argue with someone that isn't arguing back or getting riled up, but it's going to frustrate them. The narcissist might try to continue the loop, but without your emotional reaction. The cycle, it eventually loses power. They run out of fuel. You stay calm, you stay safe. Number 2, set boundaries, because some narcissists will continue to push while you try gray rocking. Some have full intention in creating drama so that they can get their supply. Know your limits. If they insist on arguing and want to keep talking, let them know that they can talk about what's bothering them as long as they don't do an ABC, yell, name, and attack. And let them know that if they do, the consequences will be the end of the conversation. Walk away if the conversation turns manipulative. Number 3, document or write. Sometimes writing your thoughts privately helps, especially with cognitive dissonance. They will gaslight you and have you experience all this cognitive dissonance. So keep a journal to preserve clarity. If you're indeed stuck somehow in a session, stay grounded. Remind yourself and keep reminding yourself that you're not crazy while they babble on. Remind yourself that you are being manipulated. Number 4, avoid arguing for understanding. They will always refuse to understand. At best, they might throw you a crumb and tell you that they finally get it, and 3 sentences later, they're back to unacknowledging you. You won't get empathy. You won't get acknowledgement. So use radical acceptance and save your energy for yourself in safe spaces. Now, the last one, and the one I find to be the most powerful, because it not only shuts them up, but it actually empowers you. Let's go back to the issue of being name called here. I've said what I've had to say on the matter. I am not okay with name calling during an argument or any time really. I don't appreciate it, and walk away. Sure, they'll probably in desperation try to pull you back in with something like, well, if you don't want to be name called, then stop provoking me, where you'll want to turn around and say something back, but ignore it. Keep walking. That gives you the power, and it disempowers them. The problem is when we want to address the issue about name calling with the notion of walking away with them agreeing. That's not going to happen, first of all. And secondly, you're trying to control them and you can't. That's why you're so frustrated. Radical acceptance. You call them out, tell them that it isn't okay, and every time they repeat it, if you haven't left the relationship, walk away every single time. Show them that every time they behave a certain way, there will be consequences. Condition them, just like they do to you. Except for you, you're conditioning them like you would a child. You don't stay angry with them. You just quietly walk away every time they behave badly, and you don't give them what they want, power. And in doing so, you get to keep yours. Otherwise, you'll continue to get put through the emotional aftermath. Even when you disengage, circular conversations leave emotional residue, mental exhaustion, physical tension, self-doubt, and emotional numbness. Circular conversations are a weapon, not a conversation. And recognizing them is your first step to survival. You can't win the narcissist's way, but you can protect your sanity and your peace. Every time you disengage, gray rock, and maintain your boundaries, you are reclaiming your power. You're telling them, I will not be manipulated. And every time that you move towards awareness, clarity, and self-protection is a step toward freedom. So that is all I have to say on the matter today. So if this video resonated with you, comment below with me too, or share your story. Let's support each other and raise awareness about these manipulative tactics. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights on narcissism, codependency, and emotional healing. You're not alone, and reclaiming your peace is absolutely possible. So take care, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.